Hi everyone. End of week 6, Eliminate call. Going to be talking about longevity, life after Eliminate, and we will touch on workouts, but more important things to cover first, and Pancake Tuesday, Shrove Tuesday. Yes, this is the approach I sort of take when there are big events on, and it is, if I know I'm going to need a higher day at the weekend and I know I'm not necessarily going to go way over on something like sort of pancakes. Say my normal pancakes, my normal day I have oats, and tomorrow I'm going to have like pancakes for breakfast, and I'm going to try and make it fit, and I creep over by 50 to 100 calories. Do not panic. Just take it. So Lydia, try, say for example your breakfast is 300 and you're trying to get a protein pancake recipe to make for tomorrow's breakfast, or depending on what you like, if you prefer breakfast pancakes or evening crepes, try and make it fit and try and replace it. And if you go over by 50 to 100, then it's okay. Let's start the first quiz with that. What do we prefer? A being breakfast pancakes, B being an evening crepe. What are we going for? A being breakfast, B being evening crepes. A, B. B. Well, everyone's on. Yeah, I'm with Angelo, both. Hey, that's good mix there. Is anyone actually having pancakes tomorrow? Or we're planning on having pancakes and panicking about it to fit into their calories or what to swap it with? Let me know and I'll cover it for you. No, everyone's good. Everyone's on it. Cool. Yeah, like I said, it will lead me quite nicely onto like longevity. The whole top of Nutella, I agree. Biscoff, that's another one. What we're going for, Nutella or Biscoff? A being Nutella, B being Biscoff. That's a new sort of dilemma these days, isn't it? It used to just be Nutella or lemon, but now Nutella or Biscoff. A. Oh, everyone's got Nutella over Biscoff. Surprising, but yeah. So like I said, this leads me into longevity. Does anyone know what they weighed on the 20th of February 2022? If anyone does, put a little Y in the comments. I'm not more than you do now. Yes, Charlotte, that's the response we want. So the reason I'm coming on to this and talking about longevity is you will not remember what you weighed on the 20th of February 2023 in 6 months' time, 1 year's time, 2 years' time, 3 years' time. So the most important thing when it comes to goals and fat loss, and I don't know whose camera's not on, microphone's not on mute. Just double check your microphone's on mute. Not sure who it is. I'll let you know if I see it pop up on my screen. But yeah, you're not going to care about what you weighed on the 20th of February 2023. And I think we all know from like my calls and my check-ins and obviously my social media, I'm a big fan of getting the job done. If you have a goal and you've got a fat loss goal and you want to hit a certain weight and you want to feel more comfortable in your clothes and you want to feel better, I'm a big believer of get the job done. But like I've promoted all along with Eliminate, I say it's important to reverse out of this and understand sort of how to keep these goals. So this is why I'm being a little bit more flexible coming these weeks. And a few of you would have seen in check-ins that I've been like, if you need an extra 100 calories, take it. If you need the extra 50 calories, or if you need 2 higher days, then take it. And the reason for this is not because I'm losing interest or I'm wanting to slow down your results. It's, I understand life happens, and I understand there are all these things that will constantly come up. And Eliminate, as a coach, yes, I want you to get results every single week because it's better buy-in from you. You will stick to it more, you will see it more. But following these calls and understanding further explanation, you'll understand that You can't win every single week of the year. Most of you are losing somewhat between 0.5 to a kilo a week. You do that over a year, that's 25 to 50 kilos lost. That's no one on Eliminate's going to lose that amount in a year. Do you know what I mean? So it's understanding, it's winning over time, winning month on month rather than day on day, week on week. And I think we're all aware, like, the scales fluctuate now. We're a bit more aware of why they fluctuate, and understanding that it is okay to have little setbacks. It's okay to have a day where you overeat. But the most important thing from that setback is your relationship with food. Like, what if you crash? Why have you crashed? Is it because you're hungry? Is it because you're tired? Is it because you're stressed? And what are you going to do from here? Are you going to beat yourself up and have 4 days of eating shit because you crashed on diet, so you think you fucked Eliminate? Or is it, do you know what, that day's been and gone, there's nothing I can do about it, just move on and get back on it? And that is where longevity comes into it. It's over time. And for a diet period, and this is why I speak to you, obviously, when I speak about booking in calls and catch-up calls and things like that, a lot of it is obviously for support in and around one-to-one coaching, but it's also support and knowledge for what to do next, and give you a bit of further understanding of how long you can actually diet for. So most diets somewhat should last between 12 to 16 weeks. You can push 20 weeks depending on how aggressive you are. But remember, like, you will lose when your food starts coming down. So if we use just a rounded figure here, if you start at 1,500 calories, then it goes to 1,400 calories, and then it goes down to 1,300 calories. You were losing weight at 1,500 calories. You were losing weight at 1,400 calories. You're still losing weight at 1,300 calories. If you have a day where you are about to crash, and a 200 calorie snack, whether it be like a grenade bar, a bit of fruit, some extra rice with your dinner, anything like that, take it, because I would much rather you do that than smash a whole box of chocolates or a whole tub of biscuits just because you were trying to be absolutely perfect. And remember that 200 calories at worst is put you up to maintenance for that day. At best, you'll still lose weight, you'll still be in a deficit. But if it puts you up to maintenance for that day plus your higher day, you're still 5 days in a deficit, 2 days at maintenance. And technically, by science, you should still lose weight for that week. So it's the longevity of this game is your relationship with food, and not just like when you're on it, also when you slip up, or when you're having weeks of not tracking, and when you are sort of feeling that little bit more need to fit in socials. Like, I was a lot more flexible with, I'm going to use Claire and Kelsey as examples, with their approach in France, because I told them not to track in France and Paris, because one, it's going to be near impossible, and two, I wouldn't want someone to feel like they had to do that. So we took an approach of, obviously, whether they stuck to this or not, I probably wouldn't have done so myself, so I can't say too much. But I said, look, let's stick to an approach of like 3 meal sitting. So like breakfast, lunch and dinner, or a brunch, a snack and an evening meal, which is going to allow them that little bit more flexibility to allow more food, because obviously they're going to want croissants in France. They're going to want to try all these foods that they probably can't get at home. So it's building that relationship, and you'll see some of the check-ins from today that I've shared on my story. It is a lot more realistic check-ins now. It's like you're starting to notice the goals, you're starting to see all these wins come through, but you're also understanding that your weight may go up if you've overeaten. Or yeah, Kelsey ate some croissants. We're glad you tried, Kelsey, that's good to hear. But you're understanding a lot more as to like why weight's going up, that you will feel tired and hungry on a diet. And the next thing to do is, like, now you're understanding that and going through that, what's next? So if your weight does go up, what should you do? Should you panic, or should you review your food? If you are feeling low on energy, what should you do? Should you just carry on? Should you sort of cut your diet short? Should you try and find the balance in between the two? That's obviously where I come in, and it's quite hard to provide guidance on that on this call because it's so personalized and individualized to each person. But you start going down the route of like diet breaks, refeed, body recomposition, etc., etc. But the longevity of the game is you probably can't diet for much more than 20 weeks, 16 to 20 weeks without a diet break. So just be aware of that, of anyone who is carrying on by themselves. Anyone who's carrying on with me will obviously cover this sort of stuff and we'll give you breaks. But I know a lot of people, they come to the end of something like Eliminate and they're like, oh, shall I push another 2, 3, 4 weeks? I've got holidays coming up, summer's coming up. If you are going to do that, just be extra careful of energy levels, etc. And if obviously it doesn't work and you try and push it too far, I'm always here for a call. So is anyone worried about anything before we start cracking on into post Eliminate and what to sort of look out for post Eliminate, even though we've sort of touched on it there? Anyone stressing about anything? What to do next? Should steps stay at 12 to 15,000? Should calories stay low? How much should it increase to weeks 9 and 10? Are they mandatory? If you've still got weight to lose, should you bump it up as high as week 10? Emily, calories. In terms of calories, what do you mean? Should you stick to it? Should you go back up? What calories should you be on? Feel free to unmute yourself.
More along the lines of like, so once you bring us back up to maintenance, kind of if we want to continue being in a deficit, how to make sure that we're not in too much of a deficit, that we're flaking, but enough of a deficit to sort of consistently but safely lose weight. Not safely, but you know, healthily lose the weight without overdoing it.
It's monitoring it. It's like, remember, Eliminate for the best part started on a formula. A lot of people have changed over time. That's where the coaching element of Eliminate comes in. But like, it's based off a formula. Use it, and that's where obviously they're all set. So everybody's maintenance calories are different. Everybody's lifestyle is different. The kind of foods people eat are different. So you could say to someone, you could probably maintain weight up to triple your body weight. So for me, like sitting, well, I'm a bit lighter now because I've lost weight, but say 80 kg, if we said triple your body weight, that would be 2,400 calories. It's like, so 8, 16, 24, and then you obviously put the 2 zeros on the end. 80, 160, 240, and then you add another 0 on the end. So that would be 2,400 calories. But I would lose weight at 2,400 calories because I'm on my feet all day in the gym carrying weight. And it sounds nice being on 2,400 calories, but trust me, carrying weights around the gym all day on that amount isn't. So like, it's sort of monitoring it, and it is monitoring your rate of weight loss vis your energy levels, vis your social life balance. And that is because, remember, maintenance isn't, for me, isn't just right, what does my weight stay at? It's, for me, it's also balanced up against my social life. Like, I like to go out for dinner. I like to have drinks in the summer a lot more than I do in the winter. So do I drop my food in the summer so it allows me more drinks? It's subjective to that. So it's monitoring your energy levels versus your rate of progress. But what I would say is slow down your rate of progress, ideally, after something like Eliminate, because Eliminate is meant to be more aggressive. So you should be up at the end of losing it like 1% to 1.5% of your body weight. After 8, 9, 10 weeks, you probably want to start slowing that down in terms of rate of progress and losing like 0.25 to 1% to 5% of your body weight. So that's where I'm saying it's like, it's subjective, but that is what you've got to look out for, your energy levels via your rate of progress. Are you still moving? Like, you could say, for example, you're losing 2 kg a week. Obviously that looks good on paper, like your weight's coming down 2 kg a week, but if you feel like death's door, then obviously it's not a good thing. Would you be better off losing 1 kilo a week and feeling nice and healthy? So yeah, it's subjective, but again, like I said, if you are going to give it a go and you want to continue, just always drop me a message or book in a call and we can talk further on that. Calories at the end of Eliminate, are they your maintenance, Charlotte? Yeah, they should be. If I it depends how much I've changed your calories throughout. If I've not changed them, weeks 9 and 10 should be take you up to your maintenance. But remember, this doesn't include like social. If you're extremely happy with how you look and you don't want to lose any more weight and you don't want to change your physique, yeah, weeks 9 and 10 should build you back into it. But again, just monitor it and see how you get on. But yeah, it's more of a process of checking it each week, everything else, all the other factors outside of just the scales, and obviously tracking and MyFitnessPal. So the next thing post Eliminate, and the sort of things that we should be thinking is, think about what it was you wanted from Eliminate. And I'm actually going to get used to put that in the chat. When you signed up for Eliminate, what was it you were mainly looking for? Was it workouts? Was it a meal plan? Was it support and guidance on nutrition? Was it a little bit of a mix of everything? We'll start with that. What did you think you were getting into with Eliminate? Like, what was the main reason you wanted to sign up? Obviously, you can put fat loss, weight loss straight away if that's what you were looking for. Yeah, so I'm just reading some of these comments here. So get back in the gym and drop some body fat, nutritional education to feel more confident, and fat loss. How accountability and structure, fat loss, kick up the ass, accountability, gym workouts, fat loss, accountability, and approach to get back into gym structure. No, cool. Get fit, structure. So is that changed for anyone? Has anyone thought, is Eliminate sort of giving you what you want? Firstly, that's actually a better question. Is Eliminate giving you what you want? Yes, 100%. Good. Perfect. Good. I'm glad it's getting such a good response, probably hence why you're still on the call. So accountability is such a good one, because obviously you'll see throughout Eliminate, there's less people commenting in the group, there's less people on the calls, there's less people taking part in the challenges. And that's obviously over time that naturally happens, because it is hard to stay accountability. The sort of shiny object wears off. But you are getting what you want. So you should all have by now a good form of structure, like sort of what days you like to work out, what sort of cardio you like to do, how often you eat, how to sort of meal prep, all things in and around that. So that being said, and that being important, I've got you to start thinking about this over the last few weeks, is post Eliminate now, what do you think you still need? Like, what do you think is the one thing that like Eliminate hasn't provided me, but I would like to get out of it to carry on? Or you think you will still need post Eliminate? Remember, these aren't quizzes, these are just general questions, so I can help you. There's no right or wrong answers. So what I've been quite surprised at is I've not actually had many questions in and around workouts. Maybe I marketed it really well. Maybe you have been aware on the call, but obviously one thing like we needed was workouts. A lot of people think they're coming into Eliminate and they're getting their workouts, and the old sort of method was, oh my God, if I just need to work harder in the gym and I'll lose weight. And what's the best workout? What's the best workout split? I've not really had any comments on that, which I was quite surprised at, which is why I said today that it will be something I cover. But sorry, I've just got a question. Someone's directly messaged me. I'll cover that in a minute, but Justin. So the main things is obviously a lot of people there talking about structure, accountability, and the main thing that we need, and the only sort of response I got from that was accountability. Again, accountability comes in many forms. First form is obviously yourself. What is your goal? And we spoke about this, like post eliminate, think about your goal. What is it? Break it down and set little targets each week. Therefore, you're keeping yourself accountable to your long-term goal. Then you've got your friends, your family, your relationships. Are they helping you stay accountable to what's true to you? And then obviously we go down the route of hiring a coach and making sure you've got that accountability, which is what I'm there for. And like I said, I'll be sending out more emails and messages in the group if you want that accountability. So then we will cover that separately. I won't spend the call talking about that. The next thing that we've got covered here is all about the increase in weight. So weights, I'll cover this separately. So in terms of workouts and workout splits and what's the best workout split, there is no correct workout split, and there never ever will be, and there will never be a best workout split. So most of you girls probably have heard of like lower upper splits, or lower upper full body glutes, or full body splits. Guys, you probably go down the route of hearing push pull legs full body, or upper lower. So again, there is no correct split, and I have pull exercises in my push day just to get the workouts in. And the idea is you hit somewhere between 9 to 20 sets of an exercise per week, and that can be split any way you like. So that's why there is no correct way. And we did actually touch on this the other week, actually, saying like, would you be better doing 3 exercises for your chest on a Monday and a Thursday, and rather than doing all 6 on a Monday? And we explain why, because exercises 4, 5, and 6 would have less energy and less effort. So there's no correct split. And then this is where your question comes in, Michelle, like, are you increasing your weights enough week by week? It's subjective. As long as does everyone know what progressive overload is? Just put a no if you don't know what progressive overload is. Don't be like, don't worry, no one's going to judge you for not knowing what progressive overload is. So progressive overload is basically doing more over time. So for example, if you do a squat at 30 kg, next week you increase. So say that you do 30 kg squat for 8 reps. Next week you do 35 kg for 8, and then 40 kg for 8. So that is progressive overload, is you're doing more volume over time. But the thing with progressive overload is if you up the weight every single week, you'd be in the Olympics within a year or two, lifting heavier than anyone has ever lifted in their life. So the next thing that you can do is like reps and sets. So you might start off with 2 sets of 8. Then next week you might do 3 sets of 8. And then once you've got your 3 sets, it might become 3 sets of 9, 3 sets of 10. So there's weights, reps that you can increase. And then you've got things like time under tension and like basically controlling the movement. So that is what progressive overload is. So if you are lifting more over time, that is the key. But you also want to be lifting with an intensity level. So Michelle, just covering your question again, is if you see on the workouts, it should say reps in reserve 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 4, 3, 2, 1. So using that example before, you'd go 30 kg. Let's just use it in numbers if we're just increasing weight every week. No, let's use the examples given. So it's start of a number, pick up the weight, up the reps. So for example, week 1 was 30 kg for 8. Week 2 was 35 kg for 8. Week 3 was 35 kg for 9. And then week 4 was 35 kg for 10. What you would do is you would break that down into the next block. Week 5, you would maybe start at 35 kg for 8. And then week 6, So 35 kg for 8 on week 5 is less than the 35 kg for 10 you've done on week 4. But week 6, you do 40 kg for 8. Now you've progressed over time, and that is called periodization. So progress in the gym should go up, down a little bit, up, down a little bit, up. And that's basically how you progress over time. So, yeah. So there you go. I've just explained it exactly. That's why it's always good to speak up in the group, because you'll get a direct answer. No, so you just want to make sure you're progressing over time. And that is basically how volume's built. But then you've got the reps in reserve. So if you're doing 30 kg for 8 and you think you could do 30 kg for 15 reps if someone held a gun to your head, you're not lifting heavy enough. You should only have like 4 reps in reserve. So, and a good way to test this is sometimes when you've got reps in reserve 1, go for as many reps as possible. So like rather than just going for your 35 kg for 10, try and go for 11 reps, 12 reps, 13 reps. And if you get past 15 reps at 35 kg, you've got well too much in the tank. Like you should only have 1 in the tank, so you're going for 10. If you get you 1, but always add the next one. So if you get 1 or 2 extra on week 4 and you get like 12 reps, that's okay. And you're like, oh no, that's too heavy. You're in the right ballpark. If you get 15, 16 reps and you should have only got 10, it's too light. So just increase it. What if you have joint pain? Again, this is subjective to you. Progressive overload over time is good, but remember, if your weight is coming down, technically you are stronger per body weight. So for example, if you're 75 kg and you squat 75 kg, you're at a 1-to-1 ratio. If you're at 70 kg, yet your strength hasn't increased and you're still squatting 75 kg when you're at 70 kg, technically you're lifting at a rate of like 1.1, just call it. So technically you're getting stronger, and technically that should give you enough sort of progression to see a better rate of muscle growth to fat loss. Opinion on knee supports? Yeah, if they help, then absolutely fine. Just be careful of anything that restricts your movement or makes your movement not as it should be in terms of form. So that's absolutely fine. Knee supports, elbow supports, wrist supports, anything of that's fine. Just be careful of anything that puts you through a position that you shouldn't go through. And it's the same as like, when you do like Bikram yoga and things like that, people say you've got to be careful of that in case you stretch a muscle because it's heated and it's gone too far. It's like just anything that causes you pain. So like I'm a believer of like physio, and the best form of physio is like, it's almost like poison is your best cure. It's like test it. If it's not making it worse, it's probably making it better in terms of injuries. But it's out of my pay grade, to be honest, and I would much rather not take sort of physio advice from me and reach out to someone a bit more professional in that field. So that is workout splits. There's no right or wrong way. Pick a workout split that suits you. Again, when I go down the 1-to-1 coaching route, I go into a lot more terminology in terms of like reps in reserve, back off sets, rest pauses, drop sets, all of that stuff there's no magic in it. There's no magic in a superset. There's no magic in group sets, drop sets. The idea of it is to provide more volume over time. So it makes it more fun. So like I do different methods. So like in terms of rep ranges, most rep ranges for most people should be in that 8 to 12. 80% of all of your work should be in that 8 to 12 rep range. There will be people I put in rep ranges of 5 to 8, 6 to 8, and then there will be some exercises I push up from 12 to 30, 40 reps. And yeah, 40 reps is an absolute killer, but it's there to provide more reps over time. So any questions on either workout split, sets, reps, exercises, exercise selection, etc.? If you're only doing 3 days in the gym, you better doing full body on all days. Again, Charlotte, subjective. I know they're crap answers. I would personally either go full body, or if there's an area you wanted to work on more, I'd maybe split it. Like females tend to like lower upper full body because they get it. They can prefer to work so many exercises, say like on their legs and their glutes on certain days. So yeah, it's if for example you wanted to work on your glutes a lot more than say like your shoulders, you could potentially go 2 lower days and then, or like lower upper full body, and then you can put more lower exercises in, because if you've done 2 to 3 exercises of legs on each day, you might feel a bit fatigued going into some of your other work, whereas you might enjoy doing some isolation work. Like for example, like if you're doing legs, you might do like say squat and RDL on one day, hip thrust and trap bar deadlift or leg press on another day. You might not get some isolation work in there. You might not get your hamstring curls and your leg extensions in, which you might want to work on for overall strength. So yeah, subjective, but I would probably go 3-day full body or lower upper full body if I was doing a 3-day split. Any questions on workouts and splits then? No one's got anything else for me? Any questions on anything at all regarding eliminate, post eliminate, longevity, calories, pancakes? Talk to me about absolutely anything. Any questions? I think, as usual, thinking if there is anything, the breakfast winner is Michelle this week. I think presentation of the Weetabix cheesecake and the macros were on point. Chloe's baked oats would have been something I'd make myself, but I think I've got to go to the rules and Michelle's protein Weetabixes and clear winner there. And why is it harder? Sorry, I've got one question I need to cover. Can you please cover the below before logging off? Why is it that it looks harder to lose belly fat? So I think that's saying, why is it harder to lose belly fat around your belly rather than like other places? And it's a mechanism. So like it tends, you can't spot reduce body fat. So it tends to be held in and around your stomach and lower back, because that is a lot of where your vital organs are. So naturally your body wants to protect its organs, and it's things that make your body basically tick. So obviously down there you've got like your kidneys, your livers, etc., etc. So your body tries to hold on to as much storage fat, and obviously digestion and things like that. So it's like if your body was in the wild, it naturally wants to hold on to body fat. Your body wants to hold on to more fat than you want it to have in terms of aesthetic wise. So it tends to be your stomach area where you hold it last. Girls, again, like usual, hold it there probably a little bit more than guys because of obviously pregnancy, babies and other things. Yeah, Emily, hormones. Yeah, so it is a lot more around life and your body, if that makes, and survival. Like I know that sounds a bit extreme, but it's more there for survival reasons. Like I know when I lose weight, I hold it on my hips massively compared to like some other people who hold it on their lower back. But you can't pick and you can't spot reduce. For me to lose body fat on my hips, like I have to go like quite extreme on my diet for it to drop off, and then I start losing it. My face, I lose it really quick, and I start looking a little bit ill if I try and push it off my hips too much. So rather than, so you can't really spot reduce body fat, but what you can sort of do is you can build up areas in and around to look more toned and look more muscly, which might help. So yeah, in terms of body fat, just things that it will just come off. It will eventually come off. It just takes more time. So like most people will lose it in and around there. Like I say for a girl, like above in your bra line, look at your bony areas. Anywhere where you sort of have more bone, you'll see it a lot more there. But like for a girl, above and below your bra line is usually where you see it. Guys usually see it like top of your shoulders, in and around your chest. It starts coming off quite nicely, and then obviously in and around your stomach last. So that's just the way it is. Some of you will hold it on your legs a lot more. Girls especially will probably come off your legs a lot more. Again, for natural life is the best way I can put that. So yeah, hopefully that's another good call of covered everything. I was meant to do the step challenge this week in terms of 100k step week, but we'll push it to next week because I didn't give you enough notice. So, and obviously some of you will be under 50. It's an average of 15,000 steps a week, so a day for a week, which will fit quite nicely into our last week. So we'll do that week 8. Does anyone have a challenge they want to recommend for this week? Food challenge, workout challenge, step challenge, and also not a step challenge. Anything that they want to recommend? Otherwise, I will look at my notes and put something into the group for the challenge this week. Go on, I'll give it 10-15 seconds for someone to recommend the challenge. Don't be shy. I'll make them up all as I go along anyway. Do you know what? Pancakes. Who can put the best pancakes in the group? Whether it be breakfast or crepes. We'll take a judge on that. And all the normal things apply, calories and macros. So yeah, pancakes is a challenge this week. But have a wonderful evening, guys. And I will speak to you all in the week. Well done for getting to where you are. If you're struggling, please drop me a message. I'd much rather you drop me a message than crash. So have a wonderful week. Speak to you all soon.
Nice one. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.